Google and Microsoft are getting closer and closer together. These days, the ecosystems are, pretty the same, I guess, feature for feature. Now, you've got price parity across the different tools, and you've also got all the features needed to work productively and collaboratively with a remote team or a hybrid team, or maybe a team that are all working together in the office. So this article that I'm looking at here is saying that Google is pushing Workspace closer to Microsoft Office was very interesting to me, because I'm curious to see just what it is about Google that are potentially copying some of Microsoft features and getting Google closer to the Microsoft ecosystem, which has been around for a lot longer and is a lot more ingrained into mid-sized businesses. So Google's announced a bunch of changes to Workspace. 2 updates are bringing it closer to the look and feel and functionality of Microsoft Office. So there's 2 main features here. Number 1 is offline syncing of Microsoft documents, which is actually now allowing you to use Microsoft documents in Google Drive and have them work offline as well, which is pretty crazy cool. Now, quick history lesson for you if you didn't already know. Google bought a long time ago an iPad app called Quick Office. And what happened was a very, very long time ago when Microsoft created a new document standard, they used open source technology to make that happen called XML. And once they created the new document standard, what happened was they were sued, and other people basically said, well, if you've used this open source software, you then need to be able to make your editor and your files open sourceable as well. And what basically happened was it allowed third-party app developers to create tools that could let you edit Microsoft documents in the Microsoft format. You didn't have to buy Microsoft software to actually edit their documents. And so if you remember over a decade ago now, when Microsoft moved from .doc to .docx, that was the change in document format, away from their proprietary format and into an XML-based format. Now, what that meant was this iPad app called Quick Office actually sprung up and allowed you to edit your Microsoft documents on your iPad. You could edit them without Microsoft Office software, which previously you had to pay for. And what did Google do? They went along and bought that company, and then they integrated that technology into Google Drive within the Chrome browser. But it now actually works across any browser. It allows you to edit your Microsoft files right from within Drive. Now, what this update is meaning is that you now actually have the opportunity to work on those files even when you're offline. So if you're on a Chromebook and you're on a flight, or maybe you're working from a cafe and you don't have an internet connection connected, well, then you're going to be able to work with your Microsoft documents offline from within the Google ecosystem for free. I mean, it's not quite for free because you've still got to pay for Google Workspace, but it is for free. It's basically included as part of your Workspace subscription. And I, for a long time, have said that is one of Google's silver bullets. Many businesses need to work with different document formats as you are delivering your service or your product to your customers. And you may have some customers who from time to time send you a spreadsheet or a document in a Microsoft format. And then internally, if you're using Google Workspace, you're probably then going to be using Google's format documents for as much as possible inside the business. And so you end up in this situation where you have multiple document types that you need to work with and that your team needs to work with. And to avoid the pain of having to do double licensing, well, if you're already using Google Workspace, because you can edit these Microsoft documents right from within Google Drive, you don't have to buy another license for Office, which is pretty darn cool. Now, many business owners, they come to me and they ask, Pete, well, how can I work with these multiple documents? What's the best way of working? For many businesses, if you have team members that want to use Microsoft format documents for their work, or maybe you're working with a lot of partners or contractors or even customers that are working in the Microsoft ecosystem, that may be a factor that comes into your decision to maybe move away from the Google ecosystem and switch to Microsoft for your tools, for your tool set inside your business. And what I would say to that is, if you are a business that is using the Microsoft ecosystem primarily for your business, and then you have Google Documents as an add-on, what tends to happen is your team will use personal Gmail accounts for working with Google Documents, which is a massive security hole. They're not protected. They're generally not backed up. No one has centralized control over any of the documents. And if someone else outside your company is the owner of a document, well, they can remove your team's access at any time. So I don't recommend you use the Microsoft ecosystem as your primary ecosystem in that particular scenario where you've got multiple document formats that you're managing. But if you're using Google Workspace as your primary ecosystem, well, either licensing your team for Microsoft apps which would be a double up, or just making use of these tools inside Google Drive allows you to have everything in one place, because you can have your Microsoft documents stored inside your Google Drive, you can edit them with Google Drive, and you can also share them outside your company with Google as well. But why would you do that? I don't know. My policy is as much as possible to use Google format documents, and anytime someone sends me a document, even if it's in Microsoft format, I find myself converting it to Google and then placing it in my drive somewhere safe where it's shared inside a shared drive, and then sharing it back to that person. So I know that my company has a copy, I have a copy, I have control of that copy as well, but then I can get advantage of all of the features of a Google Doc, like real-time collaboration, unlimited version control, and all the other cool features that come with them as well. Next, let's talk about the Outlookification of Gmail. Google have recently created a redesigned Gmail online, and it's basically giving you all your apps in one place. And they've been working on this for a couple of years. They've been building in things like Chat and Google Keep and a bunch of different add-ons that all just live right inside your Gmail. So the third-party tools that we use, like Asana, Dialpad, Hiver, all of those just live straight inside there on the sidebar, just like Copper CRM as well that we use. And that basically gives us access to a bunch of third-party tools right from within our Gmail. But Google are also doing some other things, like making the chat available, making Google Meet available inside of Gmail. And they pretty much want you to spend as much time as possible inside that Gmail window by making that a work hub for you. Now, personally, I don't spend time in Gmail during the day because I have a PA that manages my inbox. And if you want to learn more about having someone manage your inbox, we've got an amazing business course inside Genius Academy. Jump on the link below if you want to check that out. But for me, I am using Chat most of the day, and I'm using Calendar most of the day. And you can access those from your Gmail if you like. But for business owners that I educate, I actually recommend, instead of having your email open all day, which is distracting and probably going to take your attention away from the important work that you have getting done, instead open up a separate window for your chat so you can still stay connected to your team, and a separate window for your calendar so you have those two open without all of the distraction of email. So 2 small things that are getting these ecosystems a little more integrated. Now, is this actually making Google more like Microsoft? I don't know. This article's a little light, I think. But one of the interesting comments, which is pretty funny, I've just read here, is that Microsoft doesn't even offer offline support. And what this person is saying is that when Microsoft has their online version of documents, which actually run in the browser, those don't actually even work offline, which is pretty funny because it means that Google are giving you more options with Microsoft Documents than Microsoft does in certain scenarios. Before I finish, I want to share one more thing with you, and that's really about making the right choice of ecosystem for you and your business. Our business technology choices are vast, and we have a growth roadmap which we take you through the different stages of technology and where you should be choosing different technology at different stages in your business. There's heaps of playlists on our channel which give you an idea of how you should be making great technology choices for your business based on what size of business you're at right now. And one of the biggest questions that customers come to us with is, of course, should I choose Microsoft or should I choose Google as my business ecosystem? The reality is it's completely up to your business. But keep in mind that it is an ecosystem play. It is an ecosystem decision. And what that means is you're going to have to look at what are the add-ons that work with this ecosystem? What are the processes that I need to adopt for this ecosystem? What is the philosophy of how this works? You know, Microsoft are a lot more based on doing heavier work on a local machine versus Google, which are all in the browser and all in the cloud and really about doing as much as possible online. Is that going to change the way that you or your team work perhaps? Is it going to be easier or harder to work with either one of those? We've got some other comparison videos on Microsoft versus Google, and so I won't go into that on this video. But making great technology choices is about looking into the future of your business, looking at what kind of work do our team actually need to do, and then finding an ecosystem that is a great choice for you. If you'd like to learn more about that, making great technology choices, well, I've got a video specifically on that, and our team will drop a link to that right below. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Take care. If you like this content, please hit subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can be notified when we go live or drop new content on the channel. Now, if you'd like to connect with us, hit us up on social media or join our free community group. All the links to that are right below this video. If you'd like to learn more about Google Workspace and the technology ecosystem, you can join our free Genius Academy by transferring your billing across to itGenius. Or you can join a Workspace Basics Bootcamp. Now, if you're a business owner and you're interested in an audit on your technology stack or your Workspace account, or you're looking to do a project in the tech world, well, you can take advantage of our free consultation. And if you need help right now, then consider joining Concierge or taking up a quick fix with our team for professional support for your tech stack.